All right, and good morning. And we have 5 games on tonight. That's right, for a Friday, that's actually kind of busy. Um, I say that, although I think last Friday, I think we had 6. Anyways, we've had Fridays where we've had none. So 5's more than 0. You guys can write that down and take that to the bank. And you're welcome. So this morning, we're going to be taking a look at all 5 matchups, starting with LA and Calgary. Now, the Kings, either the glass is half empty or it's completely empty right now. The Kings are 9-15-1, and the Flames are 14-9-2. So on the surface, this looks like a mismatch in favor of Calgary. And it's hard to argue that it's not in favor of Calgary, even though your leading scorer for LA is Anze Kopitar with 7 goals, 10 assists, and Kopitar's been getting better lately. Doughty, 2 goals, 13 assists. Kovalchuk, who is getting power play time based on a meeting he had with Rob Blake. I think there's an exit on the way here. He's at 5 goals, 9 assists still. He's been there for weeks. Brown, 8 goals, 5 assists. Carter, 5 goals, 8 assists. Toffoli, 5 goals, 7 assists. Iafallo, 5 goals, 6 assists. Martinez, 1 goal, 7 assists. On the Calgary side of things, Johnny Gaudreau, 9 goals, 19 assists. Matt Tkachuk, 12 goals, 15 assists. Sean Monahan, 13 goals, 13 assists. Elias Lindholm, 11 goals, 13 assists. Giordano, 3 goals, 21 assists. Backlund, 3 goals, 10 assists. Noah Hannafin, 2 goals, 9 assists. And TJ Brody, 2 goals and 8 assists. Goaltenders, now Quick started last night. I expect Peterson in tonight because, honestly, Peterson's been pretty good. And they lost last night. Peterson, 4-3, 2.46 goals against, 927 save percentage. Budaj, who's in the minors now, 0-1 record, 5.02 goals against, 818 save percentage. Quick, who played last night, 0-4-1 record, 4.24 goals against, 861 save percentage. Jack Campbell, who's still hurt, 5-7 record, 2.33 goals against, 923 save percentage. On the Calgary side of things, Smith, you think? Riddick? We sure? I don't know. I haven't checked. I should go ahead and double check and see if they've confirmed any of the goaltenders yet. And while we were paused, my wife pointed out there were 14 games last Friday, which is true. I guess I blocked that out because it was a lot. Anyways, all right. So starting goal is, yes, Smith is the starter. I had a feeling they'd start Smith here, and this is the difference between how Calgary's trying to fix Smith and Ken Hitchcock isn't worried about Talbot. He's just worried about wins. We'll see which works better. Now, I will say this in Smith's favor as well. He has played well his last couple of games. 6-7-1 record for Smith. 3.29 goals against, 883 save percentage. If he struggles, you got Riddick as the backup. 8-2-1 record. 2.21 goals against, 924 save percentage. I really honestly think, though, we're headed towards Riddick just being the just de facto starter. Over their last 10, LA's 4-6. Can't get things going. They lost their last game. Calgary's 5-4-1. They lost their last game. On the road, LA's now 4-7. At home, Calgary's 7-3-2. Versus the West, LA's 5-9-1. Versus the West, Calgary's 10-6-1. Everything seems to favor Calgary. I'm not putting it on the board. It's not happening. But yeah, it does look like a game that should probably favor the home team. Next up, Buffalo. So the winning streak is over, and while I would love to say that's a sign that they're wearing down or a sign that they're overachieving, they're over their heads. The reality is, it is a bit of a tough slog. It's hard to get up for every single game, and while people want to dissect their 10-game winning streak, it's a 10-game winning streak. I find it really weird too that you'll see that kind of thing where it's like, well, it's not really a big winning streak because it is, though, because if it wasn't a big deal, we'd see it all the time. You're like, oh, there's the 4th 10-game winning streak we've seen already this season. We're only 3 weeks into the year. They haven't even played 10 games yet. That's how easy it is. 17-7-2 is a pretty solid record for the Buffalo Sabres. And 9-10-4 is the record of the Florida Panthers. Now, of the two, of course, Florida desperately needs this win more than does Buffalo. But anytime Florida desperately needs a win, I just don't count on it. I've given up on that. And it's funny, I'm starting to hear other other outlets saying they can't figure what's going on with Florida either. Good. It's not the scoring that's the problem. I think it's been between the pipes for the most part. When they struggle, it's between the pipes. When they had that big winning streak, it was because Luongo was playing great and Reimer had a great game in the middle of it. All right, your leading scorers on Buffalo: Eichel, 5 goals, 25 assists. Not too bad. Skinner, 19 goals, 8 assists. Pominville, 9 goals, 9 assists. Reinhart, 5 goals, 13 assists. Okposo, 5 goals, 10 assists. Ristolainen, 3 goals, 12 assists. Dahlin, 2 goals, 12 assists now for Rasmus Dahlin. And Sherry, 6 goals, 6 assists to round out the top 8. On the Florida side of things, Huberdeau, 5 goals, 19 assists. Hoffman, 12 goals, 11 assists. Dadonov, 10 goals, 13 assists. Barkov, 8 goals, 13 assists. Keith Yandel, 4 goals, 17 assists. Vincent Trocheck, 3 goals, 11 assists for him. Ekblad, 5 goals, 5 assists. And Bukestad, 4 goals, 6 assists for him. So that rounds out the top 10 for Florida. And, the scoring really hasn't been the problem. Goaltenders, no confirmation with Buffalo yet. But I would think Ullmark. Hutton played last night. He has a 12-7-1 record, 2.63 goals against, 917 save percentage. Ullmark is 5-0-1, 2.52 goals against, 926 save percentage. Hutchinson should be the backup tonight, 1-1-2 record, 4.17 goals against, 839 save percentage. Reimer starting tonight, 4-6-2 record, 3.36 goals against, and an 894 save percentage. And there's Luongo, 4-3 record, 3.07 goals against, 902 save percentage. Over their last 10, Buffalo's now 9-1. They lost last night. And the Florida Panthers 4-5-1 in their last 10, and they lost their last game as well. So Florida's last 10 is pretty much how it's been all year, just middling. On the road, Buffalo's 8-5, and at home, Florida's 4-4-2 because middling record. Versus the East, Buffalo's 9-4-1, Florida 7-7-3. There is no stat you look at with Florida's record and say, okay, as long as they can build on that, they're good. There's just a lot of mediocrity there, and you can't win that way. So, next up, New Jersey. New Jersey's going to be looking to reverse their fortunes on the road, and they get to do that against Washington, a team that lost their first place spot last night to the Columbus Blue Jackets. So maybe Columbus and Washington are going to be going back and forth over first place for a while. New Jersey's 9-10-4, and the same record as Florida, just as desperate as Florida. Washington's 14-7-3. Caps are playing pretty well. Your scorers, your leading scorer for New Jersey, Hall, 7 goals, 17 assists. Palmieri, 12 goals, 9 assists. Coleman, 8 goals, 6 assists. Zajac, 7 goals, 7 assists. Severson, 3 goals, 11 assists. Heischer, 4 goals, 9 assists. Vatanen, 1 goal, 9 assists. And Boyle, 7 goals, 1 assist. What stands out to me is that it looks like Taylor Hall had a career year last year, and he's fallen back to a more regular, realistic number for him. He's on pace for about 85 points. This is a very, very good season. But again, it's off the pace from last year. And the energy with New Jersey has looked different. And it doesn't help either that anytime Schneider's in net, it's an automatic loss. Schneider won't be playing tonight, I don't believe. On the Washington side of things, Ovechkin leads the way with 18 goals, 10 assists. Backstrom, 6 goals, 22 assists. Karlsson, 5 goals, 21 assists. Kuznetsov, who may be back tonight because things are already bad for New Jersey, so why not throw Kuznetsov back in the ice against them. 6 goals, 15 assists. Oshie, 9 goals, 5 assists. Jacob Vrana, 6 goals, 8 assists. Eller and Connolly both have 4 goals and 9 assists to round out the scoring for Washington. Schneider should be the backup. 0-5 record, 4.28 goals against, 863 save percentage. And do you know what stands out to me is that his numbers are almost the same as Jonathan Quick's. If I told you at the start of the year Schneider and Quick are going to have the same numbers this year, you go, wow, they're both having a good year. Kincaid should be the starter, 9-5-4 record, 2.72 goals against, 912 save percentage for him. On the Washington side of things, Copley, 5-2-1 record, 3.06 goals against, 899 save percentage. I would think he backs up tonight, but maybe he starts and Holtby starts the next game. I don't know. It doesn't really necessarily matter too much. The records are pretty solid with both. Holtby's 9-5-2, 2.74 goals against, 917 save percentage. and Holtby's been playing very well lately. Over their last 10, the Devils are 3-4-3. Like I said, they desperately need some wins here. They've lost their last 3 in a row. Washington 7-3-0. They've won 6 in a row. On the road, New Jersey's a woeful 2-9-1, and at home, Washington 7-3-2. Versus the East, the New Jersey Devils are 6-8-3. Versus the East, Washington's 7-4-2. All of the numbers indicate Washington should win this, and depending on how Kincaid plays, I don't know how close it's going to be, but because it's Kincaid, I would think it's Kincaid. It has to be Kincaid, right? Anyways, as long as it's Kincaid, it'll be close. If it's Schneider, I'm going to cover my eyes and just pretend I'm somewhere else. Maybe on a beach somewhere. There's sharks. I don't know why there's sharks. Anyways, Anaheim, 12-10-5. They're trying to turn around their fortunes, and they might be on their way to doing it. And they're in against the Carolina Hurricanes, who have started to put together a pretty decent record. Quietly so. 12-9-3 overall. But they've recovered from that skid they'd been on. The Anaheim Ducks, their leading scorer is Ryan Getzlaf with 6 goals, 12 assists, followed by Raquel with 4 goals, 12 assists. Henrique, 6 goals, 8 assists. Montour, 2 goals, 10 assists. Silverberg, 5 goals, 6 assists. Aberg, 6 goals, 4 assists. Fowler, 3 goals, 7 assists. And Hampus Lindholm, 2 goals and 8 assists. On the Carolina side of things, Aho, 7 goals, 18 assists. Teravainen, 5 goals, 13 assists. Ferland, 11 goals, 4 assists. Williams, 4 goals, 10 assists. Svechnikov, 5 goals, 6 assists. Jordan Stahl, 5 goals, 6 assists. Martinuk, 7 goals, 3 assists, still on the board. And Walmart, 1 goal, 9 assists. Every time Walmart touches the puck, I hear Walmart in my head. Every time I hear Walmart in my head. Goaltenders, no confirmation yet for Anaheim. I would think they go with Gibson here, but it doesn't really matter. Both goaltenders are pretty solid. Miller's 3-2-1, 2.46 goals against, 931 save percentage. Gibson's 9-8-4, 2.54 goals against, 927 save percentage. Anaheim's problem has not been goaltending. Absolutely not. On the Carolina side of things, Mrazek 3-3-2, 2.75 goals against, 880 save percentage. Darling, who has likely played his last game as a member of the Carolina Hurricanes, maybe for now. I don't think he gets claimed. That hasn't come through yet as I'm recording this. I checked before I started recording. But I would imagine he ends up going to the minors and maybe he comes back later. 2-4-1 record, 3.14 goals against, 892 save percentage. And tonight's starter, that's right, Curtis McElhinney. 7-2 record, 2.12 goals against, 930 save percentage. Don't tell Carolina a 35-year-old can't play net. And when you look at the last 10 games, the Ducks now are 5-3-2. They've won 2 in a row. They've improved their road record. They're up to a 5-7 record on the road. It was 3-7. Versus the East, they're 5-2-2, which helps. And they're playing the East again tonight. 6-3-1 record, and they won their last game for Carolina. At home, they're 7-4-2, and versus the West, they're 5-4-1. This looks like a very even matchup. You've got solid goaltending on both sides. You've got probably the better goal scoring for Anaheim or for Carolina, but Carolina's kind of a mystery right now because they're not taking as many shots the last couple weeks as they were. Thank God. It was just ridiculous. But is that going to impact their goal scoring too? Because their shooting percentage was bad. Now, if their shooting percentage goes up because they're shooting less, they're proving my point right. Stop shooting from everywhere. Okie dokie. Before I start going off about that, let's move on to the last game on the board, which is St. Louis. Oh, Blues. Blues. And they're in against the Colorado Avalanche. No, Carolina's not playing 2 games tonight. That's not happening. That's not going to happen. Not yet. They take enough shots for 2 games a lot of the time, but they're not playing 2 games tonight. The NHL's not that cruel yet. 8-12-3 record for St. Louis. St. Louis is only cruel to its fans. Colorado's 15-6-4 on quite the roll and looking to potentially be first in their division. That's right. Nashville with the loss last night, and Colorado, if my math is correct, can take first place with a win tonight against St. Louis. But remember, that's why they play the games. Arizona beat Nashville last night in Nashville. Take no team for granted, no game for granted. or you're going to lose. The leading scorer for St. Louis, O'Reilly, 12 goals, 15 assists. He's been wildly inconsistent, and yet his totals are good so far. Tarasenko, 8 goals, 11 assists. Perron, 8 goals, 7 assists. Shen, 5 goals, 9 assists. Pietrangelo, 4 goals, 7 assists. Bozak, 3 goals, 8 assists. Steen, 5 goals, 5 assists. And Zach Sanford, 4 goals and 5 assists. On the Avalanche side of things, Rantanen, 10 goals, 32 assists, still leads the league in scoring. McKinnon, 18 goals, 23 assists. Landeskog, 15 goals, 13 assists. Barry, 3 goals, 17 assists. Kerfoot, 4 goals, 14 assists. Soderberg, who is quietly having an excellent season, 8 goals and 9 assists, 17 points for Soderberg in 25 games. That's a pretty solid season for Soderberg. We would have loved that when he was in Boston. Gerard, 2 goals, 10 assists. And there's Wilson on the board with 7 goals, 3 assists. Wilson now has 7 goals. He had 6 last year. Yeah, he's already passed the goal total he had last year. So maybe he's in for an excellent season after all. If he gets 20 goals, that's just bonus money for Colorado. No confirmed goalies in this game. I would imagine Allen for St. Louis, which would make Johnson the backup. 2-5 record, 3.12 goals against, 895 save percentage. Allen's numbers have been getting better, but are they at the level that I think St. Louis wants them? No, that's why they're interested in Jimmy Howard. 6-7-3 record, 3.32 goals against, 894 save percentage. On the Colorado side of things, I expect Varlamov. Grubauer played the last game. Grubauer 6-1-2, 3.06 goals against, 904 save percentage. Varlamov 9-5-2 record, 2.32 goals against, and a 927 save percentage. Over their last 10, St. Louis is 3-7. They lost their last 2. Any momentum they got after they fired Mike Yeo disappeared quickly. The Colorado Avalanche are 8-1-1 in their last 10. They've won 6 in a row. On the road, St. Louis is 2-5-2 at home. Colorado is 6-2-2. Colorado this year, unlike last year, they're good at home and they're good on the road. No matter where they're at, they play very well. Colorado and Buffalo have managed to reclaim their status as 2 of the better teams in the league. And I remember the late 90s when they were both there regularly. Versus the West, St. Louis is 6-9-3 versus the West. Colorado 7-4-2. So they're not as strong against the West as they are against the East. But since it's St. Louis, I'm leaning towards Colorado. Let me know which way you're leaning in the comments section below. As always, don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through and you just happen upon this video. And I know because I said that, people are going to say I'm leaning to the right, I'm leaning forward. I know. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.